for humiliating my rook.
You won't have to suffer much longer.
Do you have any idea how to play chess?
Not a clue, you?
No idea.
Best 5 out of 7?
Let's do it.
Today I'd like to attempt to answer a question which has been on my mind for some time. How important is it for a LEGO set to be associated with or include some recognizable intellectual property, or IP? And how does the inclusion of some property affect one's enjoyment of a LEGO set, or the quality of a LEGO set, or maybe most importantly, how does it affect the value of a LEGO set? Hi, I'm Josh. This is Josh Builds Stuff, and today I will attempt to answer that question. May I start this conversation with an example? That was rhetorical. I may, or I may not, but in this case, I will. Let's think about a LEGO set that's about 500 pieces. For that, you'd probably expect to pay about $50, right? That's about a 10-cent price per piece ratio, pretty common across LEGO sets. However, if that was a LEGO Star Wars set, you might expect to pay, I don't know, $70 or $80 for that same 500-piece set. Well, why is that? A lot of people would use the term IP tax or Star Wars tax, and we'd say because that LEGO set is associated with the Star Wars franchise, we expect to pay a little more for it. We might think, well, LEGO has to pay someone for the right to use the Star Wars name, right? And because they're paying that extra cost, they pass that cost on to us as consumers. Whether or not that's valid or real in any case, who knows? I don't think it actually is. Maybe it's just that we as consumers are more willing to pay for a franchise that we like more, but that's beyond the point. In any case, we know that for LEGO Star Wars sets, they cost a little more. And with that in mind, naturally, I brought along with me today a LEGO Harry Potter set, a chess set, and you might notice that it's sitting alongside another LEGO chess set. However, this one is not associated with any recognizable IP or any IP whatsoever. It's literally in the other category on LEGO's website. That's how generic this chess set just happens to be. This Harry Potter Wizards chess set, this one came out in 2021, and I definitely didn't just pick this up because I'm trying to collect all of the little chocolate frog wizard cards and all of the golden 20th anniversary minifigures, and I didn't need to just reach a certain price threshold so that I could get the Harry Potter Gryffindor dorm room gift with purchase. Nope, I definitely picked this setup because I wanted it. Our generic chess set, it's just called LEGO Iconic Chess Set. Like I said, it is as generic as can be, and I definitely didn't just pick this one up because it was on sale and happened to be near the checkout counter at the LEGO store. Let's look at some facts between these two sets. Obviously, our Harry Potter chess set comes from a recognizable IP, unless you don't recognize Harry Potter, in which case a lot of these arguments probably aren't going to make a whole lot of sense to you. But the Harry Potter chess set, this one costs $60 at retail and has like 870 pieces. Sounds normal enough, but our generic chess set, this one costs $55 at retail, but it has like 1,450 pieces. That's a pretty big difference between the two sets. So are we paying a whole bunch more money just because the Harry Potter set contains a couple of minifigures and wizard tiles? Maybe. Or maybe we can throw the argument about piece count straight out the window, assuming that it's not too heavy and you don't live in too heavily trafficked an area. We can throw that argument straight out the window because most of those pieces kind of go towards these weird little designs that are along the sides of the chess set, which honestly you could do without. That could have been done out of brick and we would have saved like 500 or so pieces. Looking at the wizard chess set here, obviously there is some immediate recognizability. You can use this set to recreate some of your favorite scenes from Harry Potter, assuming your favorite scene is that one from the end of the first movie slash book, the Sorcerer slash Philosopher's Stone, where they gotta win wizard chess so that they can get to the Sorcerer slash Philosopher's Stone. With our generic chess set here, the only scenes you can really recreate are maybe those from the Queen's Gambit or any other number of Netflix shows which are based mainly around the game of chess. There are too many to name, so I'm not going to try to do that right now. But obviously, it's actually, I still recognize the characters from here. They're chess pieces, I guess, as characters. Also, everyone been yelling about like Lego Bring Back Castle. There are 4 little castles included in this set alone. But while we're pointing out immediately recognizable facts and fallacies regarding these two sets, obviously, Wizard Chess, very small, kind of unimpressive as a LEGO set sitting there. The big generic chess set, kind of impressive because it's up on this platform which doubles as a storage space for the Lego pieces. Also, the two platforms split apart and you can store the whole chess set like on a shelf, maybe along with other board games, because it can be played as an actual board game. And I hope you left that window open from earlier where we were throwing things out of it, because I'd also like to take any of the facts that we've talked about so far, throw those out the window, and I'll open up my closet of subjectivity and take some of that out. That is to say that I'd like to express just my general opinions on these sets, regardless of any of the facts or recognizability of IPs or anything else in these two sets. Here's the thing, this Harry Potter Wizard chess set might be one of my least favorite Lego sets of all time. If you forget the Harry Potter association, it is just a big square made up of a bunch of smaller squares and then a whole bunch of little pieces where you got no place to store them. If you're not literally playing this as a chess game, it just takes up a lot of space and then has a bunch of little things that you got no place to put. Honestly, this could be like, this is a glorified parts pack if you need a bunch of little miners' helmets or a bunch of little Lego swords. Like, that's all this set is good for. And I know what you're thinking, well, you could also just use that as an actual chess set. Not really, because the characters don't right away look like chess characters, unlike our big chess set. Also, this Harry Potter one, it's built on tiles, which might not seem like that big of a deal, but the little Lego pieces, they're smooth, which means the second this chess set is moved or bumped in the slightest, every piece goes sliding around and you lost your place, your game is over. However, in our big, beautiful, generic chess set, you might notice that the board itself is built a little differently. There are jumper plates with little stud attachment points where the chess pieces can be nicely stuck onto. To me, it's reminiscent of my days as a young man when you'd go on long road trips with your family, and in the back seat you didn't have a phone or an iPad or a built-in headrest television. No, what you had was a little travel chess set because you were a bit of a nerd as a kid. And that chess set, well, it either had a place to magnetically attach the chess pieces or like little pegs where you could stick the little chess pieces down to the little board because you were in a moving vehicle. I would confidently bring this generic chess set with me because I know all these little pieces, they're going to stick down and stay exactly where I put them. Finding a partner to play chess with me in the back seat of the car on long road trips, well, that's a harder problem to solve. So yeah, subjectively, looking at these two sets, are either of them really great Lego sets? No, not really, if I'm being honest. If we ask the question which we've been leading up to this entire time, does the fact that our wizard chess set is associated with the Harry Potter recognizable franchise, does that make it better or worth more money or even worth the same money as the equivalent generic Lego version? No. It doesn't make sense. I couldn't care less that this is based on Harry Potter and this is generic. In reality, I couldn't care less about either of these sets. But I think the fact that this one wizard chess is associated with a recognizable IP, it makes no difference to me in terms of quality, enjoyment, or value for this set. However, let's get to the real crux of this whole argument. And yes, once again, I hope that window is still open, because let's take everything I've said so far, throw all of that out that same window. Look out below, you know what I mean? Because this whole argument about IPs is really pointless and doesn't actually matter. Whether or not you should buy or enjoy or value a Lego set, it should have nothing to do with the subject matter of a Lego set. If a Lego set looks good to you, buy it, and who cares what other people think. Here's kind of the other crux of the argument. Would I want to buy a big Lego robotic dog that shoots lasers out of its face that is associated with no IP whatsoever? I mean, now that I say that out loud, yeah, I kind of would want to buy that, but what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't want to buy a big AT-AT walker unless it was from a recognizable franchise like Star Wars, which is a movie, then a franchise that I know and love very much. And honestly, the entire reason why I'm buying the Lego sets that come from Star Wars is because they come from Star Wars. And so in reality, without a recognizable name or IP like Star Wars or Harry Potter, there is no value to those Lego sets, because the only reason I want them in the first place is because they are associated with the franchises that I already know and love. So yeah, I guess the point I'm making is that there really isn't much point here. Something is worth whatever you think it's worth, regardless of association with any other recognizable property. It's kind of like your own self-worth. You are not worthy or valuable because someone else says or thinks you are. The only person who needs to know your own value is, well, you. And look, I don't even know you, but I know you are valuable, but you shouldn't even care what I think. I just hope that you know and you see your own value. But as always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you didn't enjoy this video, don't worry. Most of my videos are pretty dissimilar to this one. Maybe we'll get you in the next one, but I just hope you'll stick around long enough to find out. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.